Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anubha Rohatgi, and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicates to the nation new section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor and flags the world's first double-stacked long-haul container train. Dedicated freight corridors are game changer for India and will help in development of new growth centers in the country, says the Prime Minister. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir announces 28,400 crore mega industrial development package for the Union Territory. India crosses significant milestone as 1,16,000 COVID-19 patients recover so far. In the US, 4 people die in riots followed by storming of the Capitol building by President Donald Trump supporters. In Sydney Cricket Test, Australia were 166 for 2 at stumps on rain-affected day 1 of the third match against India. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now, the news. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today dedicated to the nation the 306-kilometer-long New Rewari-New Madar section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor. He also flagged off through video conference the world's first double-stacked long-haul 1.5-kilometer-long container train hauled by electric traction from New Ateli, New Kishangarh. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Modi said the dedicated freight corridor is being looked at as a game changer for India. After a lot of hard work in the last 5 to 6 years, it has come to fruition. He said that the opening of this stretch will fuel industries in Rewari, Mahendragarh, Ajmer and Sikar.
डेडिकेटेड फ्रेट कॉरिडोर के इस प्रोजेक्ट को 21वीं सदी में भारत के लिए गेम चेंजर के रूप में देखा जा रहा है। पिछले 5-6 वर्षों के कड़े परिश्रम के बाद आज इसका एक बड़ा हिस्सा हकीकत बन चुका है। कुछ दिन पहले जो न्यू भावपुर न्यू खुर्जा सेक्शन शुरू हुआ है, वहां मालगाड़ियों की स्पीड 90 किलोमीटर प्रति घंटा से ऊपर तक दर्ज की गई है। जिस रास्ते में मालगाड़ियों की औसत स्पीड सिर्फ 25 किलोमीटर की रही हो, वहां अब पहले से करीब 3 गुना ज्यादा तेज मालगाड़ी चलने लगी है। भारत को पहले के मुकाबले विकास की यही स्पीड चाहिए और देश की ऐसी ही प्रगति चाहिए।
Mr. Modi said that it has opened the path for manufacturing units to reach the national and international markets at low cost. He said it would also boost the possibility of investment in the area. The Prime Minister said that the corridor covers 135 stations which will be developed as multi-modal logistic hubs. He said that it will also help the village and small-scale industries. Mr. Modi said that the corridor will contribute in the uplift of the economy.
मालगाड़ियों के लिए बनी इस प्रकार की विशेष सुविधाओं से एक तो भारत में यात्री ट्रेन की लेट लतीफी समस्या कम होगी। दूसरा ये कि इससे मालगाड़ी की स्पीड भी 3 गुना से ज्यादा हो जाएगी और मालगाड़ियां पहले से 2 गुना तक सामान की ढुलाई कर पाएगी। मालगाड़ियां जब समय पर पहुंचेगी तो हमारा लॉजिस्टिक नेटवर्क सस्ता होता जाएगा, जिसका हमारे निर्यात को लाभ होगा। यही नहीं, देश में उद्योग के लिए बेहतर माहौल बनेगा, ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस बढ़ेगी, निवेश के लिए भारत और आकर्षक बनेगा। देश में रोजगार के, स्वरोजगार के अनेक नए अवसर भी तैयार होंगे।
Mr. Modi also said a few days ago India approved 2 made-in-India vaccines for COVID-19, instilling Indians with renewed self-confidence. He added that all these efforts and steps show the country is moving swiftly towards building a self-reliant India.
कुछ ही दिन पहले भारत ने कोरोना की 2 मेड इन इंडिया वैक्सीन भी स्वीकृत की है। भारत की अपनी वैक्सीन ने देशवासियों में नया आत्मविश्वास पैदा किया। 2021 की शुरुआत के माहौल में आरंभ से ही भारत की ये तेजी, आत्मनिर्भरता के लिए गति, ये सारी बातें देख करके, सुन करके कौन हिंदुस्तानी होगा जिसका माथा गर्व से ऊंचा न हो। आज हर भारतीय का आह्वान है, न हम रुकेंगे, न हम थकेंगे, हम सब मिलकर और तेजी से आगे बढ़ेंगे।
The new Rewari-New Madar section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor is situated in Haryana and Rajasthan. It consists of 9 newly built dedicated freight corridor stations, which include 3 junction stations in New Rewari, New Ateli and New Phulera. The double-stack long-haul container train operation, which adds an enhanced axle load of 25 tons, will maximize capacity utilization. These wagons on a long-haul double-stack container train on the Western Freight Corridor can carry 4 times in terms of container units compared to the current traffic on Indian Railways. These freight trains will run at the maximum speed of 100 km per hour as against the current maximum speed of 75 km per hour on the Indian Railway tracks. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar along with Railway Minister Piyush Goyal were present during the event. Our Jaipur correspondent has filed this report.
The dedicated freight corridor will help in timely movement of cargo. It will reduce the pressure of goods train on Delhi-Ahmedabad rail track, and this may lead to the introduction of more passenger trains in future. This corridor is very important for Rajasthan as it will accelerate the development of Jaipur, Ajmer, Sikar, Nagaur and Alwar districts of the state. Due to development of new industrial areas in these districts, local industries will get a boost and youth will get employment. Also, it will give a boost to industries like textiles, stone, cement, handicrafts and handlooms, and also give a new direction to rural development in the region. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha today announced the Government of India's approval for a mega industrial development package worth 28,400 crore rupees. While addressing a press conference in Jammu, the LG Sinha said that the Union Cabinet sanctioned the huge Industrial Development Package 2021 for J&K's industrial sector that has been craving for the strong support from the centre.
Industrial development to the block level and will promote far-flung areas of Jammu and Kashmir. The scheme is from the period of date of notification up to the year 2037 with a total outlay of rupees 28,400 crores. Will encourage new investment, substantial expansion and also nurture the existing industries in Jammu and Kashmir.
The LG said that the package aims at providing a huge boost to the existing industrial sector, setting up new units, creating 4.5 lakh jobs and at least investments of 20,000 crore rupees. The package will remain in force for 17 years, that is till 2037. The LG further added that with the announcement of the new industrial package, the Government of India has once again showed it is committed towards sowing the seeds of growth, prosperity and employment. Centre has decided to form a committee to protect the language, culture and land of Ladakh and ensuring citizens' participation in the Union Territory's development. The committee will be headed by the Minister of State for Home, G. Kishan Reddy, and will include elected representatives from Ladakh, Ladakh Autonomous Hill Development Council, Central Government and the Ladakh Administration. The decision to form the committee came yesterday after Union Home Minister Amit Shah met a 10-member delegation from Ladakh who expressed their views about the need to protect Ladakh's unique cultural identity. While speaking to the delegation, Home Minister Amit Shah reiterated the Union government's commitment to preserving Ladakh, saying that under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, Ladakh's land and culture will be protected and developed.
Union Health and Family Welfare Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today said that India has strongly fought against the COVID-19 pandemic during the last 1 year, and as a result, COVID cases have significantly reduced across the country.
3,95,278 केसेस जो है सारे देश में हुए, लेकिन उससे भी ज्यादा संतोष की बात यह है कि इन 1,03,00,000 केसेस में से आज सुबह तक 1,16,859 लोग आप सबके डॉक्टरों के, हमारे कोविड वॉरियर्स के सभी के प्रयासों से वो ठीक होकर अपने अपने घर लौट गए। और जो हमारे एक्टिव केसेस हैं वो अभी देश में केवल 2,28,083 केसेस एक्टिव हमारे बचे हैं। जो केसेस पिछले कुछ समय पहले संख्या एक प्रकार से 1 लाख तक लगभग पहुंच गई थी, आज 24 घंटे में 20,346 केसेस केवल हुए हैं।
He informed that Covishield and Covaxin vaccines, which have been granted emergency use authorization in the country, have come to the availability stage. While reviewing the preparedness of the states and union territories before the nationwide exercise of dry run of administering COVID-19 vaccine, Dr. Harshvardhan said the exercise will be conducted tomorrow in more than 700 districts of 33 states and union territories. He said this drive will ensure efficient planning and management for vaccine delivery in each district of the country.
हमारे सेंट्रल सिस्टम से वैक्सीन मैन्युफैक्चरर से हमारे रीजनल वैक्सीन स्टोर्स तक जाना, डिस्ट्रिक्ट तक जाना, नीचे प्राइमरी हेल्थ सेंटर सब जगह तक जाना, उसके लिए जितनी भी कोल्ड चेन की रिक्वायरमेंट और लॉजिस्टिक्स जो विशेष रूप से कोविड के कंटेक्स्ट में जरूरी है और जो हमारे पास पहले से उपलब्ध थी और उसमें स्टेट्स के साथ कंसल्ट करके वो सारे जो गैप्स हैं उनको पिछले समय में हम लोगों ने पूरा किया है। उसके लिए जो जो चीजें खरीदनी थी वो सारे इक्विपमेंट्स कोल्ड चेन को सारी व्यवस्था को स्ट्रेंथन करने के लिए किए गए हैं आपके साथ कंसल्टेशन करके।
Appreciating the coordinated efforts between centre and state governments, the minister said the government is doing all preparations for rollout of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. He advised the states and union territories to complete all the necessary work and process before the vaccination drive. He also advised to avoid any laxity in the efforts as few states are witnessing a surge in new COVID cases. Additional Secretary in the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Manohar Agnani, addressed the communication officers of Press Information Bureau, Bureau of Outreach, AIR and Doordarshan today via a webinar on the rollout arrangement of COVID-19 vaccine in the country. He emphasized the need for a comprehensive communication management plan for adverse event following immunization AEFI. Mr. Agnani informed that due to limited availability of vaccine, it has been decided to administer the vaccine to high-risk groups first. Around 1 crore healthcare workers and 2 crore frontline workers will be given the vaccine initially. Thereafter, around 27 crore people above the age of 50 and those with comorbidity will be administered the vaccine. The priority list of people to receive the vaccination on priority is already registered with CoWIN software as per the recommendation of National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration, NAGVAC. The steering committees, task forces and control rooms set up at national, state and block levels will monitor and guide the entire vaccination process. The National Media Rapid Response Cell and State Communication Response Room will respond to the media on adverse event following immunization. Mr. Agnani said any untoward incidents following immunization will be closely monitored by AEFI management centers across the country. He explained that following immunization, a few cases of developing fever, seizure, pain, swelling could occur and the AEFI management centers will be ready to address them.
In Uttar Pradesh, the final dry run for COVID vaccination will be conducted on the 11th of this month. After the successful dry run on the 5th of this month, the next dry run will check the preparedness of state government regarding the vaccination drive. More from a Lucknow correspondent.
Additional Chief Secretary Health Amit Mohan Prasad said that this drive will be conducted on 1500 places across the state. That means on an average 20 places will be selected in a district for the final phase of dry run of COVID vaccination. He said that in the first phase the vaccine will be given to the health workers in state. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has directed officials to complete all the preparations regarding the COVID vaccination timely. He said that data of the target group of first phase of dry run has been completed successfully and the data of target group of second phase should be uploaded within time. He said that in the state the vaccination drive will run according to the guidelines issued by Union Government. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has said that the vaccine developed in India will be used for COVID-19 immunization. Mr. Kumar said over 1.5 crore syringes had been arranged and sent to different districts for the use in vaccination. Detailing on the distribution of vaccine, Nitish Kumar said it will be brought to vaccine store at Nalanda Medical College Hospital, NMCH Patna, and then sent to 10 regional stores in different parts of the state.
वैक्सीन उसको रखने का और फिर जो एक एक आदमी का वैक्सीनेशन होगा, टीकाकरण होगा, तो उसको जिस प्रकार से एक व्यक्ति के लिए एक ही जो बना हुआ है सीरीज, तो वो भी आ गया है पूरे तौर पर। पूरी तैयारी हो गई। जो आएगा सबसे पहले यहाँ रहेगा, 10 जगहों पर उसको भेजा जाएगा और 10 जगहों से फिर सभी जिलों में भेजा जाएगा और वहां से फिर जहां भी जरूरत होगा उससे भेजा जाएगा।
The superintendent of NMCH Vinod Kumar Singh said 15 lakh vaccines will be kept in vaccine store and capacity has also been increased.
हमारे यहाँ तकरीबन 15 लाख वैक्सीन एक साथ स्टोर की कैपेसिटी है और 6 लाख और बढ़ाने की बात है। मतलब 21 लाख तक वैक्सीन हम लोग एक समय में स्टोर कर सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पर जो कोविड के वैक्सीन के स्टोर की माकूल व्यवस्था है और जब भी आएगा तो हम लोग इसको उचित ढंग से कर पाएंगे।
State Health Minister Mangal Pandey said another dry run for COVID-19 vaccine will be conducted tomorrow in all districts of Bihar. The first dry run was conducted in districts of Patna, Jamui and West Champaran on the 2nd of January. Meanwhile, 2,49,520 patients have so far recovered from the coronavirus infection in Bihar. The number of active cases of COVID-19 is continuously declining. Currently, 4,156 patients are receiving treatment at various hospitals. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicates to the nation new section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor and flags off world's first double-stack long-haul container train. Dedicated freight corridors are a game changer for India and will help in the development of new growth centers in the country, says the Prime Minister. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir announces 28,400 crore mega industrial development package for the Union Territory. India crosses significant milestone as 1 crore 16,000 COVID-19 patients recover so far. In the US, 4 people die in the riots followed by the storming of the Capitol building by President Donald Trump's supporters. And in the Sydney Cricket Test, Australia was 166 for 2 at stumps on rain-affected day 1 of the third match against India. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
All India Radio presents Northeast Diary, glimpses of the news of the week from the northeastern states.
All about the region, a gateway to Southeast Asia, the developments and the destinations to look forward to.
News from the art, cultural and entertainment world of the northeastern states of India. All this and more.
Every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. in the evening on 100.1 All India Radio FM News Channel.
India has crossed a significant milestone in its fight against COVID-19 with over 1 crore recoveries. The total number of patients who have successfully recovered so far from the viral contagion surpassed the tally of 1 crore 16,000 today. The rate of new daily infection also continues to remain below 25,000, with only 20,346 cases being reported in the past 24 hours. The gap between recovered patients and active cases in the country has further widened, and the number of recovered patients stands at 44 times the number of current active cases. The active caseload in the country comprises nearly 228,000 people and stands at 2.19%. Out of these, nearly 60% are under home isolation and have mild to very mild symptoms. The national cumulative recovery rate continues to register gradual improvement and stands at 96.36%, with recovery of over 19,587 people in the last 24 hours. Over 9,37,000 samples were tested for COVID infection in the country during the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 17 crore 84 lakh. The central government and Indian Council of Medical Research have scaled up the testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all.
In Madhya Pradesh, more than 2,33,000 patients have recovered from COVID infection so far. Around 26,000 tests were carried out yesterday, out of which 730 new positive cases were reported. More from a Bhopal correspondent.
In Madhya Pradesh, 633 patients recovered yesterday. The number of new cases remained below 10 in 34 districts of the state, including 4 districts with no report of any positive case. Maximum COVID positive case continues to register at Indore, followed by Bhopal, with 8 patients succumbing to the infection. The death toll rose to 3,670. Meanwhile, preparations for first phase of COVID vaccination is underway. State Health Minister Dr. Prabhuram Chaudhary has said that all preparations for COVID-19 vaccination to be held in the state in the coming days have been completed. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Telangana reported 379 fresh COVID cases during the past 24 hours. With this, the total COVID cases reported in the state has gone up to 288,789. The state conducted over 41,000 tests yesterday. The recovery rate reported at 97.71%, with 305 more people recovering yesterday. This took the number of recovered people in the state to 282,177. 3 persons succumbed to the disease and comorbidities during the past 24 hours.
In Mizoram, a total of 4,160 patients related to COVID-19 have recovered from the infection so far, while the total number of active cases stands at 88. According to the State Medical Bulletin, the recovery rate of COVID-19 has improved to 97.95%. In the past 24 hours, 9 new cases were reported, while 7 patients recovered from the infection. In Ladakh, the rate of coronavirus infection has shown steady decline from the last week of December. With reports of 12 new cases during the last 24 hours, there are only 219 positive cases in the UT. The recovery rate in the Union Territory has also improved to 96%. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The COVID situation in Ladakh during the past fortnight remains steady and the rate of new infection drastically come down. So far, out of 9,589 confirmed cases, 9,243 have recovered from the infection in Ladakh. Kargil district has performed better in controlling the situation as its present active cases are just 8 in numbers. The recovery rate of the district is also better than Leh district as it has registered 98%. While in Leh district, the active cases stand at 211 and the recovery rate is 96%. As part of the prevention measure, the UT administration is continuously screening Leh inbound passenger from flights at Kushok Bakula Rinpoche Airport, Leh, besides screening at inter-district checkposts. Yangchen Dolma for AIR News from Leh, Ladakh.
In Punjab, schools have been reopened from today with strict compliance of COVID protocols. Punjab School Education Minister Vijay Inder Singla said that the detailed guidelines on reopening of schools have been sent to all district education officers and school authorities for precise implementation while allowing students to attend physical classes. Justice Hima Kohli has become the first woman Chief Justice of Telangana High Court today following her swearing in. Telangana Governor Dr. Tamilisai Soundarajan has administered oath to her at a special ceremony held at the Darbar Hall of Raj Bhavan in Hyderabad.
Union Minister for Coal and Mines Prahlad Joshi today said the National Aluminium Company Limited, NALCO, will invest around 30,000 crore rupees by financial year 2027-28 on the company's expansion and diversification plans. He was addressing the 41st Foundation Day of NALCO in Odisha's capital, Bhubaneswar. The minister said the ambitious growth plans of NALCO will have a multiplier effect in the production and consumption of aluminium, thereby achieving Atmanirbhar Bharat vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
The minister said that the central government is extending all-round support to the mineral-rich state Odisha to avoid any interruption in the mineral production of the country. Mr. Joshi shared that NALCO, in association with the government of Odisha, is setting up a world-class aluminium park in Angul to encourage development of downstream and ancillary industries in the state, which would enhance employment generation and boost local entrepreneurship. The company that is currently operational in the tribal-dominated district of Koraput and Angul in Odisha contributes 32% bauxite, 33% alumina and 12% aluminium production in the country. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has appealed to the students, parents and teachers to come forward with unique and creative ideas to make Toykathon 2021 a grand success. In a video message today, the minister said India's toy industry is worth 10,500 crore rupees and the country imports 80% of toys from outside. The Toykathon will focus majorly on conceptualizing new and innovative toys using local material which are economical, affordable, safe and environment friendly. The proposals can be submitted till the 20th of January.
Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yadurappa launched Krishi Sanjivani vans in Bangalore today. The 40 vans flagged off today will reach out to the agriculture fields to test soil, water and suggest remedies for pest control to improve yield. Speaking on the occasion, the Chief Minister said that in future, the Agriculture Department has proposed to attach one such van for every farmers' assistance centres in the districts. More from a Bangalore correspondent.
The Agriculture Department has launched such Krishi Sanjeevani vans to take labs to the fields so that farmers get first-hand support in their farming techniques. Depending on the soil, water and pests inflicting the crops, the Agriculture Department personnel can suggest remedies. The vans will reach the agriculture fields, study the conditions and address the needs of the farmers about pest control, fertility of the soil, weeds and suitable crops in the existing conditions. The Agriculture Department has received central assistance under National Krishi Vikas Yojana to take up this novel program. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In the United States, 4 people have died during the storming of the Capitol building by supporters of US President Donald Trump. Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building when the House and the Senate met to debate certifying President-elect Joe Biden as the winner of the presidential election. Curfew was imposed in Washington, D.C. following the riots. Police said at least 14 members of the Washington, D.C. Police Department were injured. 2 were admitted to hospital, one with serious injuries after being dragged into the crowd, and the other was hit by a projectile in the face. So far, more than 52 people have been arrested. Police officers in riot gear continue to guard the streets around the Capitol. 2 pipe bombs have been recovered, one from the Democratic National Committee offices and one from the nearby Republican National Committee headquarters. Trump called on his violent supporters to go home at the same time, repeating his claim that the presidential election was stolen. Meanwhile, Democrats have won control of the Senate after Raphael Warnock and John Ossoff defeated Republican incumbents in the Georgia runoff. In cricket, Australia were 166 for the loss of 2 wickets at close of the play on the opening day of the 3rd Test against India at Sydney. Marnus Labuschagne was batting on 67 and Stephen Smith was on 31 when the stumps were drawn. For India, Mohammad Siraj and Navdeep Saini scalped 1 wicket each. Earlier, the rain interrupted the play and forced the players to go off the field in the 8th over of the match. Australian skipper Tim Payne won the toss and elected to bat first. The 4-match series is currently levelled at 1-1.
In Assam, the president of the All Moran Students' Union, Arup Jyoti Moran, along with his supporters, joined the Bharatiya Janata Party in Guwahati today. State BJP President Ranjit Kumar Das attended the program. He was very vocal in favour of the Citizenship Amendment Act, CAA movement. But ahead of the upcoming assembly polls, Mr. Moran shifted to the BJP due to the development works and policies of the party. And now let us take a look at the weather today. The national capital Delhi will have shallow fog. Minimum temperature was recorded at 14 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 22 degrees. Mumbai will have generally cloudy sky. The temperature will move between 21 and 31 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The temperature is likely to hover between 23 and 28 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. The city observed a minimum temperature of 17 degrees Celsius, while the maximum temperature could reach 30 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between -1 and 6 degrees Celsius. Jammu city will witness partly cloudy sky. Minimum temperature was 9 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 20 degrees. In Leh, there will be partly cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was -11 degrees Celsius, while the maximum is expected to be around -1 degree Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 0 and 5 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky. The temperature will move between 3 and 10 degrees Celsius. Dehradun will have thunderstorm with hail. The temperature will hover between 14 and 22 degrees Celsius. The city will witness thunderstorm with rain. Chandigarh had fog in the morning and partly cloudy sky later. The temperature is likely to hover between 12 and 22 degrees Celsius. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature was 19 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 26 degrees. And in Guwahati, the minimum temperature was 12 degrees Celsius, and while the maximum will be around 27 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi dedicates to the nation new section of the Western Dedicated Freight Corridor and flags our world's first double-stack long-haul container train. Dedicated freight corridors are game changer for India and will help in development of new growth centers in the country, says the Prime Minister. Lieutenant Governor of Jammu and Kashmir announces 28,400 crore mega industrial development package for the Union Territory. India crosses significant milestone as 1,16,000 COVID-19 patients recover so far. In the US, 4 people die in riots followed by storming of the Capitol building by President Donald Trump supporters. And in Sydney Cricket Test, Australia were 166 for 2 at stumps on rain-affected day 1 of the 3rd match against India. And with that, we end the Midday News.